Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about the possibility of Ukraine winning this thing conventionally. In a recent video, I said I thought Ukraine could win if they were given the tools. And I had a whole bunch of people send me messages saying, name one way that could happen because of Western reporting. The problem with a lot of newspapers is that you can fill volumes with what you don't read in them. When it comes to the unconventional side, which would require Russia actually accomplishing its objectives and taking these cities, the odds are heavily in favor of Ukraine. We've talked about that at length on this channel. The odds lean to Ukraine once Russia completes the conventional operation. But there's a possibility of Ukraine being able to defeat them conventionally, those are not words I would have said 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago. When you look at Western reporting, you keep hearing the encircled capital, the besieged capital. That capital is not encircled. It's not even surrounded by a half circle. And over the last few days, Ukrainian forces have made some very interesting moves along the western side of those lines. So on the northwest side of the capital there, they have made some really interesting moves that could easily be mistaken for a coherent strategy to encircle a portion of those troops, a portion of the Russian troops. They pull that off. They take those encircled troops off the field one way or another. Then they have the initiative. And it is likely that they press it and attempt to roll the entire Russian line, and they might be able to do it. At that point, Ukraine has the initiative. You know, when we talked about Mariupol, we talked about how Ukrainians there were holding on to dirt that wasn't strategically significant anymore because it was bottling up Russian forces. It was keeping them tied up, trying to take it. If the capital isn't under imminent threat, there's a whole bunch of Ukrainian forces that suddenly become free. A whole lot of them will go to press the attack along the Russian forces in the north. But there will be some that will be freed up to go south, which means those Russian troops near Mariupol will find themselves firing in two different directions. Those lines will probably collapse as well, in which case they can try to roll those. They can try to roll those too. There's a lot of if this, then that in this sentence, in this scenario, but none of these developments are out of the realm of possibility. Some of them are super likely. Once those two cities once those lines are broke, it's Ukraine has all of the advantages at that point, because you have to remember Russian logistics is really bad. The lines are not great. This is something that wasn't even something that could be considered a few weeks ago, but now it can be. And understand, I don't know how to stress how wild this is. This is something that shouldn't have occurred by any measure. This isn't something that should be in the cards. It's not something that should be likely. This is nothing short of a military miracle. But I would watch what goes on the northwestern side of the capital, because if there is a massive reversal, it's going to probably start there at time of filming. This video won't even go out till tomorrow, but that's with the maps the way they are, with the lines the way they are. That seems like something that's possible, especially with Russian morale being the way it is. And once those lines start collapsing, the Russian morale is just going to drop like a rock. And troops don't fight as well with low morale. It could be something that really pushes the Russians back. And to be clear, because I know somebody's going to say that, none of this is a secret. If you are looking at the maps, I don't know how they wouldn't see this coming. The problem is that I don't think that Russia has the ability to stop that encirclement right now. It would take them getting really lucky. And then from there, it's all up to the troops on the ground. There's nothing that, from a strategic level, there's nothing the generals are going to be able to do about it. What happens is what's going to happen. But these are possibilities. That scenario, it's not far-fetched, and it's something that just a couple weeks ago wasn't even, nobody could think that would be even likely. But it's occurring. This is the way it's shaping up. The Russian advance has stopped. They're trying in some areas, trying to push forward, and it's a stalemate, and we keep saying that, and that makes it sound like they're not actively involved in fighting, but they are. They haven't stopped fighting, and they're not moving, which means all it takes now is for Ukraine to catch a break, and then the initiative shifts, and Russia's on the defensive. So as wild as it seems, especially given the estimates from everybody, that's not out of the realm of possibility that they can do it conventionally, which is, it's just wild. I don't know how to say that any other way. So I would watch the northwestern side of the capital and see what happens there, because at time of filming, that is the most likely spot for there to be a huge reversal and for Ukraine to gain the initiative on the battlefield. And if they do and they press it, they've got a really good chance of greatly altering the way those maps look. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.